you'll never become known for something that you didn't talk about in the first place. Like, it's still your own fault. Like, you talked about that thing. It is, in a way, on YouTube, up to you to create your own destiny and build the brand that you want to build. So I'm recommending to try to get as clear as possible on what your dream situation would look like. You got to just press record.
I just started my YouTube channel, I think in June during quarantine. And so we can kind of pull it up. I had a couple questions about like my niche. So I've been kind of experimenting with lots of different things. And it started off with like home decor, which got some really good views on it. And then I started going into design because I'm a designer and I felt like that was also pretty valuable. And then I also really like traveling. And so I know that it's important to be able to niche down, but I don't know exactly like which path I should go, or if there's some kind of way I can kind of mix it up so that it can kind of be like connected to each other somehow.
Awesome. What do you want to happen? Like, what is the vision for, would you want to stop designing day in the life, make full-time income online? I mean, is that the target? Is it to support, and maybe, are you a freelancer, meaning you'd want to get more clients? Like, what's the goal?
No, right now I'm actually working as a full-time designer at like a tech company. And so I really like this. I think it'd be great to be able to, for example, to show people like places to go to, maybe do more affiliates with like traveling or home decor things. And so that's something that I really like. But I felt like designing was something that I got a lot of people talking to me on my channel about that they really liked. So I kind of went towards more that direction because I felt like it was valuable for them.
In my opinion, I think a couple things that we should foundationally note. You've got a lot of advantages because you know design, so your thumbnails are fire. You are not only part of VRA, but you've got kind of a sixth sense, I think, for video ideas and titling, and then your ability to create good videos. One, I think it is okay for you to experiment because at your stage in your channel, eventually you can kind of pick a direction and go with it. I think you just started some of the new design videos and people said they liked it, but like success leaves clues, and your best stuff is your apartment tour, apartment hunting, DIY, home decor type stuff, even working from home, and even like custom signs, so home decor and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's a matter of focus and trying to be as personally clear about what is your desired end result. And just to expand it to everybody listening, that's a huge thing to have clarity on. I mean, we are able to reverse engineer what it is we want to build. And when you build a personal brand, or you build a brand on YouTube, what you become known for is what you talk about, what you repeat a lot, the types of videos you create, and then eventually the types of videos that break out. So sometimes people feel like they get into a pigeonhole because they might have like a breakout video and they didn't mean for that to happen, and that is legitimate. But on the flip side, you'll never become known for something that you didn't talk about in the first place. Like, it's still your own fault. Like, you talked about that thing. It is, in a way, on YouTube, up to you to create your own destiny and build the brand that you want to build. So I'm recommending to try to get as clear as possible on what your dream situation would look like. The pandemic will eventually be over. I know we connected on Instagram, so I saw you just recently went to Hawaii or whatever. You love traveling. I do think that it is, if you set your mind to it, clearly you accomplish your goals. So I think that if you say, you know what, this is my ideal future, this is my ideal YouTube channel, I would like to work with travel brands, potentially like maybe be a travel influencer, then I think you could do that if you just put in the tenacity, the grit, and continue to apply the best strategies. I think if you wanted to kind of do an HGTV show in terms of homes, apartment tours while traveling, I think you could, would be on brand. I think in a way, and it'd be different than what the cover image, because to me, I think people would love to know Airbnbs, tips on Airbnbs. Let me show you this place. Let me show you this hotel tour, deals on travel, whatever. And I don't even know if that's what you're saying, but I'm saying you could absolutely go that direction. Key is, I think, just having the discipline to do it. And maybe you realize this, but conversely, if this is a phenomenal niche to do design, if you were to do UX design, how to become a designer, maybe a little bit of vloggy type stuff. I think Silicon Valley Girl would be one, just thinking about the Bay Area and thinking about A little bit of like I moved to the Bay and vlog stuff meets like designer life, like knowing who you're talking to and people that might maybe want to follow in your footsteps in terms of that. I think you could go that direction as well. But to me, and it's what you said, this is a pivot. You pivoted in these last 5 away from some of the apartment tours and the Christmas decor type stuff. And so it comes down to like an issue of focus. And I'm sure you realize this, but you know, you have so many options. A lot. When I really ask, like, what is it you want to do? What is your dream? If you had to pick design or travel or home decor, like if you had to pick one, which one would you pick?
Probably travel and home decor. I think that like my dream basically would be able to own and decorate a bunch of Airbnbs and be able to kind of, if I had like this explosive YouTube channel, kind of use that to be able to basically market my future Airbnbs, or being able to work with travel brands in as well too. So I was actually thinking about starting to do not just home tours of my apartment, because I'm starting to run out of things to tour the place, but also touring Airbnbs that I stay in. What do you think? Would that like connect with each other?
I think that I love that. Number one, when pushed, you articulated your dream. Think Media Crew, tell me in the comments, what is your ideal dream? And Tiffany, you said, I want to own and decorate Airbnbs. And that's the most beautiful sentence ever because it's just clear. So that I would say you just work backwards from that. Then you just say, is this on brand for that or off brand for that? I think you can play a little bit, because I think if you were to even travel and do like 5 hiking tips in an area near an Airbnb, as people follow you, you start thinking about the person you're talking to, the person that wants to go cool places, maybe places you're going and things to do that you're showing them, the person that wants to find Airbnbs and learn Airbnbs. And as you're really, in a way, making videos for yourself, like the things you dream about and read about and research, and that your hobbies and the things you love, you're sort of scratching your own itch. And not every video has to be liked by everybody, but I think what it does exclude is it excludes 5 free design tools, like, you know, and it doesn't necessarily exclude 5 Airbnb 3D rendering design tools, because it's on brand for maybe somebody else that's going to set up an Airbnb. And so the way you said it to me, it's incredibly clear. It's not what this says. It wouldn't be life from the Bay, and it wouldn't be design. It would be kind of this modern traveling Airbnb owner / people who want, and similarly, my wife and I are also kind of getting into this same thing. And so all of a sudden it opened up all these needs, best decor ideas, themes, how to save on decor, tax write-offs for Airbnbs, and how does that all work? And so in addition to what you just said, you know, could I document my journey? I think yes. And I think I might even think about having a 1 day a week show. And I know you also do the vlogs, where of course you're weaving in your personality and people are getting to know you and they learn your journey and you're documenting that. But I also think there's a whole list of videos you could do that are like 5 things you should know when starting an Airbnb, 10 tax advantages that Airbnbs didn't, you know, and then that, like, as far as growth, things get super interesting, like Airbnb tax write-offs. Like, let's just see, you know, 7,000 views here, 3,000, 126,000. No, I take it back. It's 126 views. But you know, nevertheless, 18,000 views. This type of content that it could be search-based. And then when it's search-based, you might, you know, do the opening and do kind of the vlog style. You already have the aesthetic vibe, but then you deliver on the promise of, is that making sense? Is that helping unpack the idea a little bit?
Yeah, I think you're kind of like going into valuable content that you can do with Airbnbs, except I'm not there yet. I don't have an Airbnb. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get to that level eventually.
Yeah. And I think, you know, it makes me think of like Shobi Church, which obviously much bigger channel, but she did like this house where she's like, I bought a house. Why I didn't buy in Los Angeles. So I think, in my opinion, I think when you buy your first one, documenting that, lessons that I learned. And to me, this is about catching vision for the journey, because you know how much hard work success takes. You've had to put in so much hard work to get where you are at this very moment in your career. So the 5-year vision from now, 5 years from now, you've added one Airbnb to the portfolio per year. People have grown with you on the journey. People have grown with Think Media on the journey. They're like, bro, I remember when you were at 38,000 subscribers, man, it's been crazy to see. So like it's all brick by brick, but I think, and I think there's some experimenting along the way. Yes. By the way, like this is how you start thinking out of the box. If you haven't done it yet, meaning you're not a results expert yet in regards to Airbnbs, then you collaborate with others and you do an interview show. Like you do a video podcast once a week on your channel. You maybe even because of course you can do Zoom easy and pandemic, but like you also in the Bay Area, and when you travel, you could do more stylistic in-person types of things. And not only that, growth hacks a lot of things. When you do a show like that, you build relationships, you get insider knowledge. You don't only get to ask experts the questions and get that intimate time with them, but the 20 minutes before and after the interview, you're getting even other things. You're getting deals brought your way. A lot of serendipity happens. Your network and your world is expanding. But in the meantime, yeah, how do you be an expert today? If you don't have the results yet, you bring experts onto your show, you platform them, but you platform them through all of the design and all the style that you have. So that's just another option. But I think the key that I love that that got clear on here is that if you know that like, I want to own and decorate Airbnbs, that is like, and that 5 years from now, I'm going to have 5 units all rocking and I'm going to go on this journey. And videos, they could be about the best coffee maker for an apartment or an Airbnb. Like that's still on brand, because eventually someday when we set up our Airbnb that we're doing in Seattle in the next year, we'll have a Keurig in there for people, like whatever. So like it could be a very specific product, or it could be something about decor. I think some of those things still fit within the reason someone would subscribe. That's up to you to keep honing it in. But man, it's so powerful to get a clear vision of what your end destination is, because now you just can work backwards from that, experiment along the way, try different content formats. By the way, if you start an interview show, like you don't have to, sometimes we think we start something and we have to commit to it for the rest of our lives. You could just do like a 10-part series. You're like, hey guys, I've decided I wanted to find 10 people who I could learn about Airbnbs from. And you put it all in a playlist and you start it and you stop it, and it's a limited series and it's on your YouTube channel. And that brings serendipity and it brings people into your world. And you start something, you stop. I'm the type of person that's like, if we start it today, my son better take over this video podcast. Like not everything has to be forever, but you could experiment on the journey, all reverse engineering back from I want to own and decorate Airbnbs.
Are you ready to start or grow your YouTube channel? Do you feel stuck and need help connecting the dots? Join this free web class where you'll learn the step-by-step playbook for YouTube success. We've helped thousands of purpose-driven entrepreneurs just like you grow their influence with video. Register today for this exclusive training at thinkmasterclass.com.